fortune awaits in Blood and Plunder. Set sail in the golden age of piracy and claim the riches of the Caribbean at beastsofwar.com. The new Flames of War 4th edition brings you the battles of World War II in epic 15mm scale. Go to beastsofwar.com to get the latest in news, tactics and tutorials.
Hi guys, welcome to Let's Play Warmachine. Today I'm going to be learning one of the factions for Warmachine. I have Matt and Will in to train me. Will, I'm actually playing with your faction, yeah?
Yeah, you're playing with my army that I brought to play up at SmogCon. Mercenaries, specifically the Cephalix sub-theme.
So that's these guys right down here. Can you give me a little history on these guys? Who are they?
So Matt Getz is actually our fiction writer, and you can probably tell far better that... For me, I'll give you the layman's version, and he'll give you a much better version.
Okay.
They're basically a subterranean race that the Cephalix are these fellows here that have sort of they float above the ground. They've got the extended heads.
Yeah.
They are actually the race of Cephalix. All the other models, the monstrosities, the drudges, are their slaves. They go up top. They kidnap people. They do surgery on their brains and their bodies, and they sort of like re-engineer them to become their cannon fodder or their engines of destruction. So all of these monstrosities here were originally just regular people that they have pumped so full of chemicals and their special type of technology. They've sort of baned them out, and like Bane from Batman, and made them huge and hulking, and then cut their hands off and replaced them with weapons, and they use them just as if they were, a warjack. They don't mean anything to them. If they have to sacrifice them to get a job done, they don't care. They're just tools.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt?
So one thing that people in the setting don't even know is that the Cephalix used to be human.
Yeah.
Way back in the setting, there's an event called the Time of Burning Sky, and that drove the Cephalix underground. And they lived in these kind of cloistered hives near the ancient ruined city of Urus. And there they started to prefer the mental power over the physical, so they let their bodies atrophy while their mental powers began to just bloat. You can see that with the more predominant Cephalix, like Exelon Thexus, Cognifex Siphon down there. Their heads are just distended because they performed so much surgery on themselves and modified their minds so much. So that's where their telekinesis and their psychokinesis all comes from.
Okay.
And in that time, they became very conscientious about infection, about disease. So they're all contained inside these suits, trying to avoid exposure to the outside world. And coming up to the surface now, they're grabbing all of the physical product they can to create their drudges and their monstrosities.
And the whole infection thing he was talking about is why mine are all painted up, the actual Cephalix, they're painted up in the white leather with the black gloves on, like old style doctors.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
All right, and facing off against me?
I'll be playing the Motherland. I'll be playing Khador, one of the original Warmachine factions, one of the classics. Khador has done what it's done for 15 years now. Heavy armor, slow, but they hit hard. They hit like a ton of bricks, basically. And this list does exactly that. I've got some shock troopers, including one of their solos to help them move up. I've got the new Mark III Battlebox caster, Kozlov, and I've got a pair of classic warjacks. I've got a Juggernaut, and I've got a Destroyer, as well as some mechanics in the back, which now the mechanics we're going to be able to heal all these Man-O-War and hopefully repair some of the damage your monstrosities are going to do to me.
Well, we'll see. This is my first run out with a faction, so I may not do too well.
That's fine. I'm going to walk you through it.
Friendly game.
Yeah,
friendly game.
Always.
Yep. So before we start, one thing we always like to do is talk about the terrain. One thing people might notice is that we're not playing a scenario. Often with Warmachine, you play a scenario, but the classic style of playing Warmachine is just caster kill. If you kill the other person's warcaster, their army sort of falls apart around them, and you immediately win the game.
Yeah.
So it's like chess. Your warcaster is your king and your queen combined. It is easily the strongest piece in the faction in your army, but if they die, game over.
Yeah.
So, real quick, we are just playing Caster Kill right now, but there are tons of scenarios you can play with Warmachine.
Yeah, there's a ton.
Do you have a personal favorite that you like to play?
It depends on your style of play. If you're a tournament player, everyone knows about Steamroller. Steamroller is the most popular packet that has an annual change of scenarios to play in tournaments. But on top of that, there's narrative leagues, there's book release events, there's historical events that you can play, like the history of the Iron Kingdoms. There's all types of different scenarios you can get that just sort of match your own personal taste and what you want.
Cool.
But So we're just doing classic, and then no matter what scenario you're playing, we like to talk about what the terrain is, what it counts in the game. So we've decided that all the buildings are going to be obstructions. You can't move through them. And if you're behind one within an inch of it and someone tries to shoot you, they provide cover.
Yeah.
These boxes here, these are going to be obstacles. You can walk across them, no problem, but you can't charge or slam across them unless your model has Pathfinder. And they also provide cover if someone tries to attack you within an inch. Also, if someone is swinging at you with a melee weapon across one, you get +2 defense.
Okay. That's going to be one to remember then.
Yeah, those are going to be super important. These lampposts are pure scenery, and if one of our warjacks or monstrosity touches it, we have to make the sound of breaking metal, and we're just going to remove it from the board. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
We're counting this little flipped over bench, this sort of obstacle someone's thrown up as one of the obstacles, much like these crates here.
Then over here?
Over here, these are being obstacles as we discussed before, but this sort of little area with the tables and so on, we're going to count this as rough terrain. It doesn't give any sort of benefit in terms of defensive value, but you go at half speed through it unless you have Pathfinder. So getting mired up in there can really slow you down. And then finally, these raised platforms, we've decided to count as just hills. So that might be a little unique for some people because hills don't block line of sight. What that means is that a model that's, say, here could clearly see, they couldn't see through the buildings, but they could clearly see a model that was, say, here. And if they had a lane to charge through, they could. The hills, in addition, if your model is completely on top of a hill and someone that's off the hill shoots at you or makes a magic attack at you, you get +2 defense because you've got elevation.
Yeah, and we're just abstracting it a little bit here because this is such a themed table, yeah?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we're extracting, because that's the thing. You know, you create a beautiful table like this, and it's just a treat to play on. But you want to make it work within the rules of the game you've got. So sometimes you just have to talk with your opponent and say, okay, let's count this as this and this. And instead of saying, oh, we can't play on this table, there's, you know, where would we fit the models and what does this even count as? Just make it work, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so ready to go?
Yeah, let's go. So I won the die roll to go first. Means I have a 7-inch deployment. So I deployed first. Then you had a 10-inch deployment, and
which is, let me put this nice little ball of death in here.
Yeah, I kind of went for a little bit more spread out. I kind of wanted to avoid this blocked-in area here because I'm a little bit lower speed, and then you gave me a good old refused flank by going all up in that area. So I'm going to have to come over here to meet you. So in Warmachine, there's 3 phases. The first phase is the maintenance phase. This is if a model's been set on fire or has any effects that you have to take care of at the beginning of your turn. Typically, most things don't happen during the maintenance phase. It's almost like a beginning cleanup phase. So obviously, at the beginning of the game, there's nothing to do. Next is the control phase, which is one of the most important phases. So Warmachine runs off the focus mechanic, which is how you get all your warjacks or models in your battle group to do anything important. So first off, my warcaster has a focus stat of 6, so he refills back up to his 6 focus points. He's going to use these to cast spells, to make his attacks more damaging. Alternatively, also to empower his jacks. Then in Mark III, we added a power up. What that means is every warjack that has a functioning cortex, which is in his control area, I add a focus to them, so they get 1 for free. The warjacks can have 3 maximum. Now, the control phase, the other thing I do before it's over, is any of the focus points on my warcaster that I want to allocate out to my jacks in order to make their attack stronger, allow them to perform special power attacks. I do that now. But it's turn 1. I'm probably just going to be running, so I'm not going to give them any more. And the maximum they can have is 3. So they get 1 for free for power up. That means I could give them 2 more up to their capacity of 3. So with my control phase done, it's onto the activation phase, which is the main meat of every single turn. So in Warmachine, you activate models individually. You do all their movement, all their attacks, anything they're doing, and then you move on to the next. The one slight difference of that is units. I've only got 1 unit in my army, and you have none. When you do a unit, like my unit of shock troopers, they all activate together as a unit. So you've got your battle group models like warjacks, your monstrosities. You've got your caster. You've got solos, which I've got 1, and then I'm sorry, I misspoke. I have 2 units because I also have a unit of mechanics back here. So let's go ahead and get started with my Mana War Covenant over here, a solo. So when you activate a model, you move if you want to. Then you perform your action, whether that is to attack, cast a spell, use a special ability. It's always move, then action, then done. The one thing that combines those two is charging, which allows you to move at speed +3, and then you make a melee attack. So my Covenant here, speed 4, so he's going to move 4 inches. He's going to turn, because line of sight is definitely a rule in Warmachine. You have a front arc and a back arc. The front arc is the front 180 degrees of your model's base. And you have to be able to see a model in order to be able to target it with any sort of abilities.
Yeah.
He's actually a support piece. He has an ability called Desperate Pace, which says, I target a Man of War unit, and I give them +2 inches of movement when they activate that turn only.
So the heavy guys get a little faster.
The heavy guys get a little faster, which is, he walks up, he's going to use his action Desperate Pace on the Shock Troopers and tell them, on this turn, when you go, you get +2 inches of movement.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do them next. So they're going to go, units are unique in that a Warcaster can charge or run or use any of his things for free, doesn't spend a focus. Solos can charge or run if they want to, for free again. Warjacks and any battle group models like Monstrosities have to spend a focus to charge or run. They have to basically be told, because they've got very simple brains called cortexes.
Flip the switch.
Hit the flip the switch and tell them to do that. Units, however, use the orders system. So when a unit activates, the first thing it does is, if you're giving it any orders, you say what that order is that turn, and then it must do that order on its turn. The Shock Troopers have 2 possible orders. They have Shield Wall, which says they can only move and make the attack action like normal, but after it, all the models that are in base to base are considered shield walled, and they have +4 armor. So they basically lock shields, you know, make the classic sort of Roman style
shield wall.
Yeah, exactly, and buff up. Any attacks coming from their front arc, they get +4 armor against, and if you're in their back arc, you ignore it. So if you can get behind them, you get behind the shields. The other order, which is available to all units, is press forward. And when you get the press forward order, you can only do one of two things: run or charge. When you run, you move at double speed, and when you run, you cannot do anything else on your turn. You can't cast spells, you can't make any special attacks, you just run, then you're done, and your activation immediately ends. Charging, you pick a target, you move straight towards it, your speed +3 inches, and at the end, if it's in your melee range, you get to swing at it. So I'm going to give them the press forward order. They're going to choose to run. So their speed is normally 4, it doubles to 8, and then because they have the Desperate Pace, which gives +2 inches of movement, they're going to go 10 inches.
All right, so that Desperate Pace only comes after you've done your doubling, yes?
Yes, exactly. Yep. So,
there's that order of operations where anything that doubles or halves, so going down the line, if you double a stat, you do that first. If you have a stat, you do that next. Then you add any modifiers, like Desperate Pace, and then you subtract any modifiers, like certain spells can subtract from an enemy's stats.
The big difference with him with Desperate Pace is it specifically says +2 inches of movement, not +2 to their speed value. So when you run, you go double your speed. So if he had given them a thing that said +2 speed, they would be speed 6. Therefore, they would run 12 inches.
Gotcha.
They're still speed 4, so they run 8 inches, +2 inches of movement, 10 inches.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So I don't think you're going to be attacking me this early in the game, so I'm not worried about shield walling just yet. So I'm just going to have them run 10 inches. Now, units have coherency. Everyone has a unit leader. My Man of War unit leader is, of course, the one that has his helmet up. As we know, in tabletop wargaming, if someone's not wearing a helmet or their helmet's up,
they're survive longer.
They're clearly the leader.
Or if they're pointing.
Or if they're pointing.
That's good too.
So I have to make sure they all stay within his command range.
And what is that? I think it's 8.
Let's see. Let's open up. We're using War Room on the iPad here.
While he's looking that up, I thought I'd mention, you can see that though he's running, he doesn't have to do it in a straight line. He can move a bit, turn, move a bit, turn. So you can negotiate around obstacles, move around other models to avoid free strikes when you pass beyond them.
His command is 7. Leader's right here. So I have to make sure that after this run is all done, or if I had charged, that all the models are within 7 inches of the leader.
Gotcha.
If they don't, bad things start to happen, such as they can't make attacks, and on the following turn, all they can do is run back towards the leader. It's not a position you want to be in. So this fellow here is going to run. My leader is also going to run, and obviously we're coming your way, but I'm making sure I'm leaving space for my Juggernaut to run. I don't want to just bunch up in here because then I'll block him when he goes. That's one of the key things about Warmachine is ensuring that you're sort of looking at your activations and planning your next moves. It's one of the quickest ways to make a mistake is to run a bunch of things up and realize you didn't leave space for a model you needed to make an attack or someone to stand, or you didn't give range for someone to get in to cast a spell. So you always have to think of your order of operations. So they're done. They run. As soon as they finish their run, like anything that runs, their turn is immediately over. Juggernaut's going to go next. He's going to spin to focus to run because he cannot run without it. He's speed 4, so he's going to go 8 inches. And he's going to come stand right here. This destroyer is going to spend 1 focus. He's going to run, and in the process, he's going to
Crush a lamp. Yeah.
crush a lamp. He's going to come stand there.
Okay.
Now my mechanics, I just basically need to make sure that they're going to be in position. So we're also going to have them run. They are speed 5, so they get to run 10 inches, and I'm just going to have them run up. Basically stay with the rest of the group because their job in life is to fix the man of war and fix the warjacks. Unless they all die, in which case their point is to take their wrenches and try and break things open with them. But they're not very good at it. It's sort of a desperation maneuver.
It's nice to have that last hurrah.
Yeah. Just just in case. I'm going to activate my caster now. Now, activating a caster is the most involved portion of Warmachine because they can do so much. They have a spell list of various spells that cost them focus to use. Some are buffs to my own army. Some are offensive spells. They have a feat, which is a once per game basically spell that costs no focus. It's you just do it for free. You can only use it once per game, and they're always incredibly powerful. They have very game-changing effects. My caster activates like anything else. It moves, it makes its actions. If it runs, it can't cast spells or use its feet. It runs, it does nothing else. But the one unique thing about Warcasters, one of many actually unique things about Warcasters, is they can cast the spells on their spell list before they move, after they move, before they make an attack, after they make an attack, and in between attacks. So you can cycle through your spells, which can be useful if you've got certain tricks you want to try and pull off. Kozlov is going to activate and simply walk 5 inches around to here, walking around the side of the building. And I believe I'm going to cast a couple of his upkeep spells. So spells come in really a few different flavors, but one of the main ones is a spell you cast and it has its effect. Maybe it's an offensive spell that does some damage. Maybe it's a spell that does something for 1 round of the game and then it goes away. But not an upkeep spell. What an upkeep spell is, it's typically either an offensive debuff against one of your models or a buff to my models. It stays in play if, during the control phase, I spend 1 focus to maintain it. That way, if it costs, say, 2 or 3 focus to cast, I don't have to spend 2 or 3 focus every turn. I can throw it out there and upkeep it, making my focus efficiency just that much better. Right? So, the upkeep spells that Kozlov has, he has Chosen Ground, which is a spell that's only on me. Costs 2, stays on me, and it says that my models can't be knocked down by any of your attacks, and that my jacks can't be knocked down by any attacks, and they get Pathfinder, which might be useful to get through that.
Possibly.
Yeah. But I'm going to hold off on that one just now. I don't know that I quite yet need it. I've got another spell called Fury that says I cast it on 1 model or an entire unit. They get additional melee damage, but they suffer -1 defense. And I think to chew through your monstrosities, I'm going to need that. So I'm going to spend 2 of my focus, and I'm going to cast Fury on the Destroyer. So that's my little upkeep token to say that he's got that spell out on him.
Yeah, it's worth bringing up that reduction in defense doesn't really matter for Khador, particularly this list, because their defense is already so low.
So just take it on the chin.
Exactly.
Then I'm going to spend 2 more. I'm going to cast a spell called Tactical Supremacy he has. And the spell lists on each Warcaster are unique, as are their feats and their abilities. And they are really... I could play this exact same army with all the Warjacks and the units and change my Warcaster every time and get a completely different feel to the game, right? It's almost like a fighting game, like you having your favorite character.
You see, this is one of the things we saw at SmokeOn, because we had the caster draft and the spell draft, which really changed the game up a lot.
Those are 2 of my favorite fun formats you can play. Not necessarily the most balanced, but they're a blast.
I think when you're sitting down to play those, you're just saying, balance? No, see that window? Jump through.
Just right out the window. So I'm going to cast Tactical Supremacy on myself. It's an upkeep spell. What it says is the model/unit it's on, once they've activated, if they haven't run or failed a charge, once they make all their actions, they end their turn and they can immediately advance 3 extra inches. So it's a way for me to still be able to do some things and then get a little extra movement. So I'm going to end his turn. He'll Tactical Supremacy up 3 inches, and my turn is over.
Okay, so it's on to me then.
So your maintenance phase, you have nothing to do, obviously. Your control phase, your caster has focus stat 7, so you get 7 focus.
Do we have a little stack here?
Of focus tokens for you.
Okay, is this 7?
It's going to be more because you'll find you'll need them throughout the turns.
Okay, so let me get the 7 for him. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now,
5, 6. and 7.
The fun thing about certain sub-factions is, while everything I explained about power-up and how you allocate jacks, that's how it is for most every Warmachine army in the game. No matter what faction you're playing, Signar, Protectorate of Minoth, Khador, but some sub-factions like to bend the rules and change things. And Cephalics are one of those.
Okay.
So, your monstrosities don't power up.
Oh. Well, I suppose they have a brain, not a cortex.
They have a brain and not a cortex. The reason being, the focus I give to my warjacks, it doesn't persist from turn to turn. At the start of my turn, I have to clear it all off. They power up with 1, and then if I want to allocate, I have to give out new focus every single turn. It's always having to refresh. Monstrosities, however, retain their focus from turn to turn. So if you give one 3, on the following turn, it doesn't clear off. He keeps that 3. Their second rule they have that's very important is every time they take damage, whether from one of my attacks or friendly attack, in case you want to punch one in the back, they gain a focus.
Okay.
So they are basically rage fueled. As they suffer pain, they get stronger.
So with that in mind, I'm just going to leave you an extra stack of focus
Yeah, I'm kind of going to need
for
this.
as the game progresses.
Yeah. Do I really need a stack of focus that thick?
Well, you've got 7 on your caster every turn that he automatically gets, and if you got all 3 of these maxed out, that would be another 12. So you could have potentially 19 focus out in a single turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go with that.
You're welcome.
Let's go with that.
So, control phase. Right now, so you know power up, but you need to determine how you want to allocate your focus. Remember that monstrosities don't get to run for free. If you want them to run, they'll have to have 1 focus.
Yeah. But I think I'm not going to have them run, but I am going to pass out 1 to each of them just to begin with.
Sure.
Because it's early game and I'm not really having to spend much yet. I dropped 1, so I'll just grab 1 from the spare stack.
Yeah. So your control phase is over then?
Yeah.
All right, so now it's on to your activation phase.
Okay.
So which model do you want to activate first?
I'm going to start with this monstrosity up here. So who's he?
That's the Wrecker. He's got a pair of range 2 wrecking balls.
Okay.
They're powerful strength 17, which is pretty hard hitting. He can either walk up and attack with both, and he's got beat back, which says when he hits something, if he doesn't kill it, he pushes it back an inch, and then he follows up an inch. Which means he can almost bulldoze his way into a crowd and then do more damage. However, if instead of making the 2 initial swings, if you find yourself in a group, he has a special attack called Thresher. It says he makes 1 attack against every model within 2 inches of him. Yeah, so he's really good at killing
units.
Everything. Yeah, everything. He's your heavy hitter.
If you find yourself positioned, getting this entire unit of Man of War in one of those Threshers would really be a solid blow for me.
Yeah. Okay, well, let me quickly jump to War Room. So, Wrecker, speed 5.
Speed 5, yep.
All right, so I'm just going to have him, amble up out 5 inches.
Sure, sounds good.
He's in no rush here. So, 5 inches will take me to about there.
Sounds good.
I will then have the other Wrecker do the same.
Yep.
Because, they're just calmly walking into the market area, seeing what's about.
And one thing we always want to make sure of that it gets used to is your facing, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to turn these guys because I assume they want to be facing towards the battle, right?
Yes. Okay, thank you for that.
Of course. There we are.
All right, so the other ones that I have then will be
the Wardens. Now, the Wardens they're shield guards, and what that means is if I shoot a model that a Warden is within 2 inches of, once per turn, you can have the Warden take the hit instead, okay? Which is very useful for that whole, they get hit and gain focus if they take damage.
Yeah. Right.
The Wreckers are armor 17, however, the Wardens are armor 18 because their head is more armored, so if I hit them in the front arc, they're armor 18. They're just 1 higher.
Yeah, gotcha.
Other than that, they've got a pair of clamps, which...
you're going to give them the clamps?
You can give them the clamps, and they've got a head attack. So they've got 3 initial attacks. They're lower palpable strength. They're only 14 on their 3 attacks. But they're dirt cheap at only 10 points.
Yeah. Wow.
They're also, if you do the power attack slam, they do it for free, and they slam people further, and can actually follow up if they don't kill them, and like bull rush into them and send them flying.
Nice.
It's really nice.
All right, well this one also speed 5, so he's just going to amble up as well.
Yeah.
And I will turn him this time, just so that he's facing the battle.
I like it.
Then what are these little dudes?
So those are one of the most important and probably one of the trickiest pieces of playing Cephalics. Those are the Cephalix agitators. They're solos. So you activate them individually. If they want to run, they just can run. They're speed 6, and they have pathfinders. They can walk through all the terrain. They have 2 spells, and they can only cast one of them a turn. They don't cost focus, because focus only is cast when it's a warcaster casting a spell. If it's a solo, they usually have a menu of spells, maybe 1, 2, or 3, and they only get to do one, and that's it.
Yeah, okay.
So their offensive spell, which is the less used one, it's more situational. It's called Influence. It's range 10. You have to roll to hit, and if you hit one of my living models, like one of my shock troopers, you take control of their brain for a second, you make them swing at someone next to them, or shoot their gun at someone near them, and then I get control of my brain again. So basically, it makes you make a guy kill his friend.
Okay, gotcha.
Their main ability, however, is called Agitate. So it's when you use the ability, it's at the end of the agitator's turn. They move up, they agitate, and they're done. You put a little token to say he's agitating. All the monstrosities within 5 inches of an agitator get +2 to their attack rolls and damage rolls. So it's a little buff bubble, effectively. But the thing is, it's not where they start. So if you agitate here, it's not like the monstrosity gets that bonus because he started near it. It's when he's actually making the attacks. He has to be in that bubble to get the +2 attack and damage. So you have to almost think, where am I going to be next turn to get the most out of these guys? So they're speed 6, and if you want to run them, that means they would run 12 inches.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to play fast and loose with at least one of them. Because everything's nice and close together, I think I can sort of risk one. So the first one here, I'm going to have him run 12.
Yep. Now, defensively, they've got 2 cool abilities.
Which is?
One is Stealth, which says any ranged attacks outside of 5 inches of them automatically miss.
Okay.
The second one is they've got Sacrificial Pawn Monstrosity. This is if they are ever directly hit by a ranged attack, not like a blast damage drifting onto them, but someone shoots them directly, they can shunt that shot off to a monstrosity within 3 inches of them. Again, allowing you to give it a focus from taking damage.
Yeah. All right. In that case, because I moved too far, I'd like
back
to
up a little bit.
Back up a little bit, just so he's about. I think there would be within about 3. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So that'll just be a little less fast and loose on the play with this.
Right.
Fast and loose, but still smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not smart. I'm just following what you say.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So the other one, he's just going to quietly amble up behind his buddies.
Sounds good.
This warden here is again just going to walk up. See, I'm not too worried because Khador's slow, so I think I should probably be able to get a lead on you if I need to actually get into combat.
Yeah.
So whenever we hit that nice crunch point in the game, it should be okay.
I think I'll probably have one more turn of positioning. You'll probably have one more turn, and think where then we'll be fighting.
Yeah.
So,
so
let's go to your caster, shall we?
Yeah, this is the last one for me to activate. So I've still got 3 focus on here.
Now, let's talk about everything your caster can do. So your caster's defensive stats are okay. His melee attacks personally are fine for killing maybe light infantry, but he does not want to get stuck in with a warjack or another caster. He's not the toughest guy.
Yeah.
He has a 10-inch spray attack, a mind wipe that he can send out, that if it hits a model, specifically a caster, they can't cast spells in their following turn. He fries their brain.
Right.
So the spray is really good when you've got a couple light infantry. It's only a POW 10, so you're not going to hit anything too hard. But his main thing is his feet, which we'll cover first, and then his spells.
Okay, so what's his feet?
Using his feet and knowing when to use it is the most important part. His feet says, you use it. Any monstrosities that are in his control range, which control range is double the focus stat, so for him it's 14 inches.
So it's quite a lump. Let me call it up here. So if I go 14 from him, it's out to about there.
Yeah, so any monstrosities that are in his control range, when you use the feet, you choose. Does that monstrosity want to use his feet? You do them individually. And if they do, here's what happens. For 1 round, your turn and my turn, they get +3 strength, +3 armor, and +3 speed. However, at the end of their activation, they take a point of damage to every single one of their damage grid columns. As they basically, he floods them with adrenaline, and they become super strong and super powerful, but at the end of it, their body literally starts breaking apart from it.
Okay, do the clamps count as open fists?
They do count as open fists.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that could be funny.
Yeah, you can absolutely walk up and...
Feet turn throw.
Yeah, 100%.
Getting that +3 strength on your throw? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So that's the feat.
Yeah.
Spells-wise, he has an offensive spell called Gallows. It costs 3. It's range 10. If you hit an enemy model with it, you drag them towards you d6 inches.
Which is great for pulling him out of shield wall. If you can get him away from base contact, he doesn't get that armor bonus anymore.
Yeah.
The key thing to remember about pushes is that there are certain types of terrain that will stop them, such as these stalls and the bench. So if you were to say drag this fella here, as soon as he hit the bench, he would stop moving. Okay?
Yeah, so it's kind of like finding that charge lane, but in reverse.
Exactly.
Kind of, yeah.
You got it. Now, upkeep spells. He has Blur, which when he casts it, it gives a model/unit +3 defense against ranged and magic attacks. Now, I don't have a ton of ranged, but the ranged I do have has very low rat. So if you cast that, it is going to make it very hard for me to hit, well, anything with a gun.
Yeah, that actually gives me an idea. Oh no, it wouldn't matter because he has stealth already.
He has stealth already.
But I was thinking if I put that on him, make him even harder to hit.
Sure.
And then if you're trying to like drift AoE shots or something onto him, it might just be a nightmare for you.
It would be basically
I know,
impossible.
that would make it better for you drifting AoE shots.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And plus, even if I hit you directly, you could sack pawn it off to one of the guys nearby. Me shooting you is the worst idea I could possibly have. That force you're playing right now has so many defenses against shooting. It's insane. What is probably a very, very good spell for you right now is Onslaught.
Okay.
It costs 2. It's an upkeep. It stays on you. And what it says is, models in your control range, when they charge, and only when they charge, they gain Pathfinder. So that's going to help you probably get through these stalls and get in some charges.
Let's do that.
So spend 2.
Token there.
Yep.
Put that next to him.
Yeah.
Now he's activated. You cast the spell before you move. You can still move. You just can't run this turn because you've cast the spell, and running prevents you from doing anything else.
Yes. I think what he's going to do. What's his speed?
5.
Speed 5. Okay. Whoop. Sorry, I'm getting used to using War Room.
Yeah.
So speed 5. Yeah, I'm just going to have him quietly amble over this way a little bit.
Sounds good.
So he's still within range of everything. Bring that and that with him, and that'll be my turn.
All right. Any focus that's on my jacks disappears. Didn't have any left. My caster gets all his focus up to his 6. My warjacks power up, getting 1 free each because they're in my caster's control range, which my caster's control range is 12 inches. Now, during my control phase, I choose if I want to upkeep any spells. I'm going to spend 1 to upkeep Fury on the Destroyer. I'm going to spend 1 to upkeep Tactical Supremacy on my Warcaster. I've got 4 that I can choose to either keep on him or allocate some of it out to my Warjacks. In the new edition of Warmachine and Hordes, we've added pre-measurement.
Yeah.
You can pre-measure everything. So I'm going to see my Destroyer is speed 4, and he has range 14 on his gun.
Yeah. So 18 inch.
Yeah,
you could hit me.
Let me look up something real fast here.
Yeah, work away.
All right, back up.
So I'm guessing large shell about to fall on my head, yeah?
Or at least land near you.
If I get very, very lucky. So 18 inches is right about there.
Okay.
So maybe I can walk up and shoot that guy. But then, so here's the last thing we need to talk about what your monstrosities do. In the theme force that you're playing operating theater, theme forces are sort of restricted armies you build that say you can only take these kinds of models, right? So, there, for example, there could be a Man of War theme force in Khador where you can only take Man of War models and Warjacks and casters. The Cephalics are unique in that they only play in their theme force, and one of the benefits their theme force gives them is all the monstrosities have the hyper-aggressive rule that says if they take damage from an enemy model, they can move up to their speed directly towards that enemy model. You choose if you want to, and you choose, it's up to your speed. So you could go 0 inches, 1 inch, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you wanted. But it has to be in a straight line towards the model that damaged you.
Cool.
So if I walk up and shoot that wrecker, that means you get to walk 5 inches towards me. But, let's see. Still in my control phase, I think I am going to allocate 1 more to that destroyer. Okay? And then I don't think I'm going to allocate anything else. And my control phase is done. So let's go ahead and start my activation phase, and let's do the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Let's have that destroyer activate. Let's have him advance 4 inches to here.
14. Yeah, you're in.
Yeah. Well, am I in? Am I in? Oh, no. I think I am just short. I think I had to go straight ahead. I kind of want to go an angle. Well, that's fine. I probably didn't want to have that thing hyper-aggressive towards me anyway. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lob a shot at the Cephalix Agitator. You've got stealth, so I automatically miss. So what I'm going to try and do is hope that my blast damage, which is a big AoE template, gets lucky and lands on your head.
Okay.
Because the sack pawn that you have is when I directly hit you, as we talked about.
Yeah.
But if I can get lucky and get it on top of you, maybe I can kill him. So this is kind of just a random shot to see what happens.
Yeah.
So shooting an AoE.
And when it misses, it has to scatter, yeah?
Oh, yeah. So it's scattering. So here's the AoE template. It's a 4-inch AoE. We put the direction 1 and directly away from this jack over the model. So red, the red die will be the direction it's going, and the black die will be how far it's going, up to D6 inches.
Okay,
so
away.
You know, black die, if you could just be like a 1 or a 2, maybe even a 3 for me, that'd be great. All right, let's go.
5.
1, so to the 5, or to the 1, 5 inches. So my AoE actually lands right here. And then we take the AoE template and we place it at that point, and so it looks like I'm actually going to hit
All 3.
all 3 of these guys. Okay, interesting. Not exactly what I expected, but so the power of this gun, if I directly hit, is 14, which means the blast damage, which is everyone in the AoE, is half that, 7.
Yeah.
So armor 17, armor 18, armor 18. I've got 2 focus on me, so I can choose to boost these if I want to.
But do you want to?
I don't. I mean, I have to hurt you eventually. So I'm going to... Oh, man, this is the worst, because I'm going to. You know,
Okay.
You got to be bold sometimes. You got to be bold.
Okay, so who are you targeting first, just so I can bring up his damage grid?
Let's go ahead and do the Wrecker. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's go ahead and do...
Right.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the Wrecker.
All right, that's Wrecker 1 then.
All right, so dice minus 10.
Yep.
I've spent 1 to boost, so I'm rolling 3 damage dice, and then the red die I'm rolling in here is going to be the location.
Okay.
Of course, take 1 to the 2.
So 1 to the 2, accept.
Yep, and you get a focus.
Actually, hang on. I just want to double check, because that was Wrecker 1, and I hit accept, but not confirm.
So that will apply the damage,
Yeah.
and it'll move you out of that grid.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So if you want to stay on the grid, you can hit the commit button, and that just locks the damage in, but you stay there.
Got it. So,
because I did a single point of damage,
that's this guy here, yeah?
yeah, you get a free focus on him first.
Whoop.
And if you'd like to, you can move 5 inches, up to 5 inches, directly towards. Now, I think you might bump that agitator,
Yeah.
but if you want to get the extra speed, you can.
I'll bump it. Yeah. So to about there,
Yeah, sounds good.
and he'll take his 2 focus. with him.
Hello, friend. I'm going to boost damage on the Warden
All right, that'll be Warden 1 then.
here. He's armor 18, so this is going to be dice minus 11.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna damage, just do it right, okay, dice? That's all I'm asking you. Okay, no damage.
No damage. Okay,
So nothing happens.
that's fine.
And then I don't have any focus left to boost, so just dice minus 11 on that second Warden. So I have to roll boxcars to do a point.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nada.
So I succeeded in putting a single point on a Wrecker and having him
Get closer and get a focus.
get closer and get a focus. Well done. His activation's over. Next, we're going to have my Man of War Covenant over here activate. He's going to advance 4. He's going to use Desperate Pace again on the shock troopers.
Okay.
His activation's done. Let's see. Next, I believe I will have the shock troopers go. So normally they're speed 4. They're going to get the shield wall order. So I don't plan on having them run this turn. Instead, I would like some extra armor. So I'm going to have them walk 6 inches, speed 4, plus 2 inches from Desperate Pace. Want them to be in base-to-base contact with each other as much as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Not all of them are going to make that, though. Like such. And this fella here is absolutely just going to be out. So let me get my shield wall token and put that next to them. And the ones that are in base-to-base with each other, this group here and this group here, have plus 4 armor.
Okay.
My Juggernaut is going to spend a focus to run. He's speed 4, so he's going to run 8 inches. As such. And my Caster is going to be bold. Be bold. Be bold? Be bold. Well, I mean, it's the worst thing that can happen. We're going to get in the fight.
Yeah.
He's going to... I think I'm probably going to need the Pathfinder maybe as early as the next turn with that Juggernaut. We'll find out. So if you feat with your Wrecker, your threat range is 13 inches. So right now you'd only get the Wrecker in, and he would only really be able to get to a few guys. So it might be worth it. But I could set up a decent counterpunch. Well, Warmachine is a game about making aggressive decisions and trying to you can't hang back too much, otherwise.
Yeah, you just get a Mexican standoff.
Yeah, exactly. So Kozlov is going to run. That means he doesn't get to cast any other spells. He doesn't get to make any attacks. He doesn't get to use his feet. He's simply running to a better position. I'm going to have him run up these stairs, up to around the front, to here. I'm going to check my control range to see where I'm standing. Yeah, I'm definitely within that record, but I'm safe from everyone else. So, you know, I've given you a bit of a juicy target. You could send a wrecker into my Warcaster to try and kill him.
How much focus does he have sitting there?
He has 3 sitting on him. So that means the way the focus mechanic works when they take damage now, so this is the reason you would leave focus on you, is every time you take damage, you could spend 1 focus, not more, and you reduce the damage by 5. So if you did 10, I could spend 1 and take 5. If you do 4, I could spend 1 and take nothing. So I'm sitting on 3.
Yeah.
And my mechanics, obviously, they'll go next. They're going to run, simply get themselves into the position to, I don't know, maybe heal some damage that might be showing up here in a second. And that's my turn. I am done.
So what's your strategy right now, looking at where he's positioned?
Right, now, the novice player, now I used to play Warmachine quite a bit, would just look at that and go, right, the caster's out there, I'm going to go for it. How many boxes does he have?
So, Kozlov is Def 15,
17.
Arm 17.
Yeah.
He has 17 boxes.
Yeah, the question is, can I put enough gas in the tank to knock him out in 1? I don't think I can at this point. So even though he appears to be a juicy target, that's a red herring, so I'm not going near that.
It's a little bit of bait I threw out there for you.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I play a lot of games, mate. Don't try and bait me with the obvious target.
All right. Well played.
All right, so what I actually will do is, I think, right now, I don't mind about taking a few shots, because yes, they hurt me a little bit, but they're helping me a little bit too. They're getting the engine up and running for the Cephalix. That's what I'm getting from this instantly, is this is a force that you can't just go straight into, turn to, and be in combat and actually be fit to do everything. So what I'm going to start doing is, well, first I need to get my 7 focus.
Yep, so your maintenance phase happens. Nothing to do maintenance control phase. You go up to your 7. Looks like you've already got 1 on you.
So there's 6 more.
Do you want to upkeep your onslaught spell?
Honestly, yes. It's quite useful, so I'm going to upkeep that. Puts me to 6.
Yep.
I'm then actually going to pass out 1 onto each of my guys.
Sounds good.
Because that way, it's getting the engine running. I don't think I need to cast anything overt this turn, so I can afford to put that gas in there. And actually, if you attack them, they've already got a bit on them, but they're not going to lose this. So it's not a waste doing this, I think.
Now, one thing I was like, I don't like to get people with what we like to call gotchas. Like, you didn't know that was coming, especially in a training game like this. So just so you know what Kozlov's feat is.
Yeah.
His feat says all models in his control range gain +2 speed and unyielding. Unyielding says that when they're stuck in melee, they get +2 armor against melee attacks, or against any attacks, as long as they're in melee with something. But the +2 speed is the most important thing. So my normally very slow Khador,
they jump at you.
Gets very strong, and it's all models, not just my battle group like your feat is. So my mana war get it as well. So you can think of him walking up, giving the +2 inches from desperate pace, and then the +2 speed for my feet. These mana war can go a very far distance.
Yeah.
Okay, I can live with that. I think. Oh, let's try not to knock the table about. But I have an idea. So, again, everybody's just staying calm.
Yeah.
Don't panic. Don't panic. And are just going to continue to walk up. So these guys are going to walk to here, not using their full movement. This guy's going to go out to here. This little dude is just going to follow behind.
Yep.
Okay. And he will use his ability this time.
The agitate?
Agitate, yeah. So he will agitate from himself.
So that's a 5-inch bubble around him.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's only getting these 2. This guy, I'm going to have him run.
Okay, so you spend 1 focus to run.
Yeah, I think I need to get him into a slightly better position. So he can go up to 10. So he will go and run. Oh no, he doesn't even. Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Go there.
You want to say you didn't run?
Nah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm not sure of what the measurement was, so I'll take that on the chin.
Well, however you like it.
All right. Then my caster, who obviously isn't going to feat, is just going to go amble up this way.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
And he'll take the last 3 focus with him. Is there anything I could cast, I wonder, that would be useful?
Well, you've already got Onslaught on yourself. The Blur, to give you the +3 defense against range attacks, you could cast that on another model within range of you, which could be useful. He has another spell called Perseverance. It costs 2 to cast, it's upkeep, and it gives a model +2 armor and it can't be moved by pushes and slams and things like that. So if you want to increase the armor of one of your models, and it's just a single target, because it also works on units, but you don't have any units, you could cast that. Would you check the range on Perseverance there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Should be 8, I believe.
No, upkeeps, I can only have one of each type on each unit.
You can only have, so upkeeps.
Range 6.
Range 6. So upkeeps, you can only have, a unit/model can only have one friendly and one enemy on it at a time. So you can't cast 3 upkeeps on a single thing.
Yeah.
So if you were to cast that spell on yourself, for example, your onslaught spell would drop off. However, you can have each of your upkeep spells out once.
Yeah.
So if you cast Perseverance on another model, it can totally be out.
Yeah, I think I'll cast it for the 2.
And it's within range 6, so any model within 6 of you.
Yeah.
So your choice between the Wrecker, the Warden, and that Agitator, it looks like.
You can also say, because I mean, you just moved up and we just started talking about that. If you had wanted to move more, like say this way on your turn, that's fine.
If it's okay.
Yeah, it's totally fine by me.
I'd move to here because I think the guy that's really under threat is this one.
I agree.
So within 6.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, just
You
about.
got it. There you go.
All right, so we'll pop that on there.
All right, so he's got a nice little armor buff on him.
And like I said, I think he's going to be, tip of the spear. So
I agree. I'm actually going to try and put some hurting on him on my turn.
no, he's actually going to activate and just, use harsh language on you.
Okay, so he's just yelling at me from across the stalls?
Yeah. And then the other one here is actually going to draw back a little bit and agitate.
Okay.
Just because that way he's not exactly directly in a charge lane, and it's just a little safer.
Sure.
So I was a little gung-ho running him up, but
Yeah.
now I haven't had to move him this turn.
Now, the thing about Agitate is at the start of your turn, those Agitates, they're 1 round. They'll disappear, and you'll have to move him again and use them again. So you always want to think about where he's going to be on the following turn as well. This shield wall is going to clear, because I have to do that every single turn. Control phase. I get my 6 focus on Kozlov. I get the power-up on each of my jacks.
Yep.
So 1 there, 1 there. Now I determine if I want to upkeep and what focus I might want to allocate. Whew, this turn looks scary. By the way, I don't know if I've mentioned that this is terrifying, because that's my army and I know what it does.
But you're playing with someone that has never played with it before, so is it less scary, or is it just chaos theory?
It's still, no, I still see it as if I was playing it, so it's still just as scary. I'm looking at that force going, oh God, what am I going to do here?
All right, well, I'll tell you what, next turn, whenever it comes to my turn, I'll lay out what I'm planning to do.
Yeah.
And I'll go through all that, but then I want you to tell me what you would have done.
Sure, yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
just for curiosity.
So, I'm going to upkeep the Fury spell that's on my Destroyer. The reason being is, you can upkeep a spell, and then have that model go that gets the benefit from the upkeep spell, then have the Warcaster go and cast that upkeep again. How we said you can only have 1 instance of it at a time?
Yeah.
You can basically hot swap it to another model that might need it, and then have them go with it. It's a very efficient way of getting the benefit of the upkeep spell twice in a single turn.
Yeah.
1 to upkeep it, and then the normal spell cost to cast it.
That's not bad.
Do I need Tactical Supremacy?
No, but you might want Chosen Ground,
I might.
depending on the range.
Right, I have an idea. So I am going to drop Tactical Supremacy. I don't believe that I'll be needing it.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to give an extra focus to my Destroyer,
Yeah.
and my control phase is done.
Yeah. Okay.
So my caster Kozlov is going to activate first. Remember how I said we were going to be bold? Well, hold on. I'll be back in 1 second. I'll be back in 1 second. Just everybody calm down.
All right.
I'm going to walk over here. Reason being, I need to get Tactical Supremacy out on my my Shock Troopers. I think it's actually going to be a little bit more useful on them, because my plans have changed versus what I was thinking, and I need them to get that extra 3 inches of movement at the end of their activation where they don't run, because I'm going to have them shield wall, and I want them to be a screen. I'm going to try and put them in front of my jacks, have you rushed into them, and have the jacks behind them to maybe fend you off a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's that wave 1, wave 2 you need to think of.
Yeah, I thought I might be able to get something else in there a little early, but the way that you're staying nice and bricked up is a really smart tactic, and so I think I have to take it on the chin first, because with your feet, you will out-threat me. Outside of your feet, you wouldn't, but I know that you're probably going to feet next turn. Maybe, or you might try and gamble and just see what happens. So I'm going to cast that spell, and then, because I need to set it up for the following turn, I'm going to cast Chosen Ground on myself. That's the spell that gives myself and my battle group, my 2 jacks, Pathfinder, and they can't be knocked down.
Okay.
So 3 upkeeps out there. His activation is done.
It's like watching a chess master play.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and have the Man of War Covenant walk up.
Okay.
He's going to use his Desperate Pace ability
Yep.
on the Shock Troopers, give them +2 inches of movement, and they'll be done. Now then, this Destroyer is going to advance up here.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to take a shot. Those agitators are so important. I'm going to take a shot at that agitator right here. Now, I'm out of range easily. But what we're going to do is we're going to mark the point of impact, and then it's going to deviate from there. So, 14 inches from my Destroyer looks to be right about there.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. So my point of impact is right here.
Yeah, just about. That'll do.
Okay. So we'll take the AoE template and we'll just set it down so we see our directions. One pointing straight at you.
Yep.
Again, red will be the direction and the black die will be how far it deviates. Then we'll see where the actual point of impact is. It's going to go to the 1 inch. So I'm going to let you do this on your side. If you will move that forward 1 inch.
So,
just straight ahead.
About there?
Yeah, sounds good. And then when you center this over and it's the 4-inch band, will you tell me what models I hit?
All 3.
All 3.
Yeah.
That is what I like to hit. So because it's an AoE, it's not a direct hit. He can't shut the shot off like we were talking about because it's blast damage. This is a PAL 7, so let's see if I can get lucky.
Okay, so this is Agitator 2.
Yeah, I'm going to spend a focus to boost the blast damage. It's a PAL 7, your armor 13. Dice off 6. He's got 5 boxes, so that means I need to roll an 11 on 3 dice to kill you.
Yep, go for it.
I'm good at doing this, right?
You're great at this.
No.
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 How many is that?
Dice off 6, he takes 3.
Takes 3. Okay, I'll take that. And 3, accept. Done.
Now, I don't want either of those moving any closer to me, so I'm just going to not boost the damage and straight roll it. Dice minus 10 on this wrecker. Red is location if I unfortunately do any damage. No, we're good with only a 7.
Okay.
And then dice minus 11 on the other warden. Please don't roll boxcars. Please don't do that to me.
No.
We're good. Okay.
Okay.
So
clever tactic.
He's done. Turns over. He has his fury upkeep there. My shock troopers are going to receive the shield wall order. They're going to advance 6 inches because they're speed 4 and they have desperate pace. That's 6 there. That's 6 here, and you know what? He's gonna kick the lamppost over when he gets to it. It's here, and this fellow is going to go to right about here. Now their turn's over, and they have the tactical supremacy spell on them, so they get to move an additional 3 inches.
Yeah,
which is very useful. So this guy's here. This fella here is in base contact with him up on the building.
Yeah.
He's going to come here, and then these two are just going to shift over just a wee bit, like so.
That's well seen. You're in Ireland, starting to use we.
No, I always say we.
You do?
He does.
I thought it was a really Irish thing.
No, I say wee bit a fair amount.
All right. Do you have yay tall and yon length?
Yay tall. Well, yeah, I'm from Southern Louisiana, so yay tall and yay big. I say that.
Yeah. Well, no, we say yon length.
Yon length.
No, I've never used that one before. That's a new one
No,
for
you
me.
can when you take it home.
I will. This Juggernaut's going to go, and honestly, let's see where 13 inches out to that wrecker is. It's right there. So, you know, if he wants to feet, and he wouldn't really get through the shock troopers. So I'm just simply going to walk up a little bit with him. I have no reason not to.
Okay.
I'm going to try and play it conservative. I have a feeling my shock troopers are going to take some damage and then try and get in there and hit you with a second wave. My mechanics, however, are going to come get behind this barricade.
Positioning for the repair, I'm guessing?
They're simply running. Yep. Positioning for the repair. Make sure their facing is all towards you. And that's every model I've got. I put my shield wall token out in front of my shock troopers, and all right, it is your go. We can go and move that point of impact token because that's not useful anymore.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am going to upkeep the upkeep spell.
So onslaught, the one that gives you Pathfinder when you charge.
Yep.
And do you want to upkeep the bonus armor spell you cast as well?
Actually, yeah.
Okay, so you'll have 5 on your caster.
Yeah.
Then your 2 agitates on your agitators, or your 2 instigates on your agitators go away.
Yep.
Because those clear every round.
Yep.
And now you've got to determine how you're allocating your focus this turn, and what you're doing your turn. So you said you had a plan.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So, as it stands, with the way you've ended your turn here, these 2 are going to activate first under feet and try and get into these 2, clear them out. Then he's going to activate, see if he can make the 13 to the Juggernaut, because hopefully that'll clear the charge lane.
We can go ahead and measure that. So did I put him in? That looks like I just did, yeah.
And then he will just go across here and try and wipe this side.
That seems like a pretty good plan.
So, we'll see if it works. First things first, I need to allocate focus, and I'm going to put everybody on max.
Sure, yeah.
Because at this point, I had hoped you would throw a little bit more damage onto me.
No, I don't want that in my life.
Yep. So I'm having to, pay for the gas myself.
Yep.
And actually, I'm going to have to put 2 onto this guy and leave my caster naked in the wind.
That's fine. He's pretty safe. He's pretty safe where he is. So if you're planning on feeding, obviously your caster's going to have to go first this turn to get that feed up.
Not exactly first, because I can get my 2 agitators to go first
and put them in
try and get them into position first. Or at least get one of them up and maybe hold the other back.
Yeah, then that's the hard part, is figuring out where they're going to stand for when the monstrosity is actually making his attacks. Is it within 5 inches of them?
Yeah. Well, the one that I'm going to put up is this guy. He just walks 6 to here.
Yep.
Just stays out to the side.
Yeah, definitely make sure we don't block any charge lanes from him.
Leave 5 inches all the way around here. Yep. Pretty much. And so he will agitate.
Yep.
So I'll pop that behind him.
Sounds good.
And, okay, so then my caster's going to activate.
Yep.
And he's going to just walk up to here, just so that nothing gets too far ahead and out of that control range, because I'm always nervous of that. And then I'm going to start from this side with the Warden, under feet, and charging. All of them are going to use the feet.
All right, sounds good.
So I assume it's when I say I'm using the feet, I have to say all of them, or this.
Yeah, exactly. So your caster activates, and you walked up, your caster's feet. As soon as you say you're using your feet, you then say who's using it, in which case all of them. And then after that model activates and does all of the text and everything, then that model, you do 1 point to every single column it's got. If one of its columns is full up, it still takes that. It just flows over to the next damage column.
Okay, so we're going to start, hopefully I've done this correct, with Warden 2.
Okay.
So speed with charge and everything else.
So you're speed 5 normally, then feet makes you 8, then charging is 11. So you charge 11 inches, and you have a 1-inch threat range on your weapons.
So, So actually, I can actually start with this guy, because that's what I need to do to actually clear the route.
And he's got a 2-inch melee range on his weapon, so he's got a total 13-inch threat range, but he's going to charge 11 inches.
Yeah, he's going to charge his 11 and go right into base. Straight line if I can.
Oh yeah, well here we turn this guy a little bit and get you all the way.
But I'm still in front arc.
Yeah, I like it.
Which is fine.
So let's get these shock troopers up and ready. So now another fun thing, a special rule that your guy has, is he has a chain weapon. Which means you're going to ignore my shield wall and my shields.
Yay!
So, you charge in.
Yes.
I am...
spend 1 focus to do so.
Yes. I am defense 10.
Okay.
You are mat 5 normally, but you're in agitate range, so that's +2 to hit, so you're effectively a 7. So you need anything but snake eyes to hit me.
Cool. Yep, that'll hit it.
So, you are normally POW plus strength 17. However, under feet, that makes you a 30. Under agitate... Or sorry, I said a 30.
30.
A 17 up to a 20 because of feet. The feet gives you +3 strength, and then agitate is +2. So you're a 22 to my 17. And it's boosted because it was the charge attack. It's automatically boosted. So just dice +5.
So 3 to kill.
3 to kill on 3 dice.
Oh my god, that almost went horribly wrong.
He is obliterated. Oh, and when you're attacking a model that doesn't have a grid, like a warjack, you don't have to worry about rolling the red die. The red die is
sorry, I do that so I never forget.
So this fella here is gone. Now, that was your first attack. You have a second initial attack without buying attacks.
And I believe I'm still in range here.
You absolutely are.
So I can just lump into him, which might even be better because then I don't have to commit that next guy. So it's just anything but snake eyes, yeah?
You got it.
All right. Oh, 5 and a 1. That's fine.
Yeah. And then it's dice plus 5.
Yeah. 3. Exactly what we needed.
Exactly what we
Exactly
needed.
what we needed.
Okay. Just about managed to murder him.
Just gave him like just a nice little bonk on the head.
Yeah.
That must be a very frustrated wrecker, though, because it comes in, wipes those two out, and then it's got all this extra focus and nothing to hit.
But that's okay,
fun.
because
I
it
don't lose
doesn't
it.
lose the focus.
Yep.
Exactly.
So it's still useful for the next turn.
Which is fantastic for whenever that destroyer jumps down off the hill and goes, oh, you just killed my mates.
Yeah. So his turn's over.
Yes, he's done.
Take 1 point of damage to every column.
Okay, so that was Wrecker 2.
Yep.
So do it. Bye. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's expensive, but worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is going to be Wrecker 1, who is going to go for... Well, actually, no. I'm going to go with Warden,
Okay.
because I think I need to get him... Oh, he doesn't have space to actually stand there. I may have to take a free strike here.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So Wrecker 1
Yep.
is on the charge.
Yep.
So he's going to go as 11.
Sounds good.
And does that take me outside of your melee?
No, so you would be in reach range of me because we measured it earlier.
Yeah.
That's going to put you right there.
Yeah.
And it does not. So even when I'm like this,
Yeah.
you will still just be within my front arc.
Yeah.
So I can still see you. So I do not get a free strike against you.
Sweet.
So this is the one that has the +2 armor, yeah?
Yeah. And let's see. 1 focus for the charge.
1 focus for the charge?
Can't really see from where I am, but is that barricade going to interact with this at all?
It is. Simply, the barricades across us, which says +2 defense, so I'm defense 12 instead of 10.
Does
He's
that
still,
make a difference?
Well, is he within 5 inches of his agitator? That's the tricky part to see.
Well, so we'll pop this down here, and he's out.
All right.
All right.
So you're mat 5. You need a 7 to hit me. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my juggernaut and get ready to take my licks. So
I'm going to spend 1 to boost the attack.
spend 1 to boost the
idea.
attack.
Just for this initial, because it's getting that auto boost on the damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see what I roll. 7 on 3.
Yep.
So rolling to hit first.
Oh, yeah.
You
So
got it.
You definitely hit.
Yeah.
Then the initial attack is automatically boosted because you
Yeah.
charged. You are still powerful strength 20,
Yeah.
so straight dice.
Straight dice.
All right, that's
That'll
going to be
be
9 to the 5.
Ow. But I don't want that. Now you have a second free initial.
Yep.
Again, need a 7 to hit me.
Yeah, I'm going to risk it.
All right.
Okay.
Did you get
I
it?
wish I hadn't
Nope.
risked it. I got
No.
6.
Oh!
Close.
So I'll buy 1 more.
All right, so spin the focus to buy 1 more.
Oh!
Oh, I know those dice.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen before.
Did you switch dice?
No, I
No,
didn't.
those are my dice, so
Okay. They must not like my hands.
they barely like mine.
I got so lucky just
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
All right, so he's done. He takes a point of damage to every one of his columns.
Yeah, and that's Wrecker 1. So do it. Come here. 1. And the 2 just bleeds further down into
You
it.
got it. Exactly.
There we go. So accept that. Okay.
But you'll notice you just have a stack of damage boxes on these guys.
Yeah.
So you can weather that kind of punishment.
Yeah, they're just big meat sacks. All right, I'm going to have Warden 1 go next with his charge. And if we move this shield wall token out of the way.
Absolutely. And we can probably move his, let's move his flail a little bit.
Yeah, so he's just going to charge straight. It's 10, isn't it, he gets?
11.
11? Okay.
11 under feet.
Okay, so he's just going to charge straight ahead.
Yep. And thanks to the onslaught spell you upkept, he actually gets to get in there. And he's got range 1, so he'll have both these guys in his melee range.
Yep, exactly what I want.
So 1 to charge.
Uh-huh.
You're easily in agitate range.
Yeah.
So the guy you charged, you need anything but snake eyes to hit because you're a effective 7 and I'm a 10.
Okay.
You got him.
Hits him.
You are normally a 14. Plus 2 from the agitator puts you to 16. Plus 3 from feet puts you at a 19. Now, this guy does have shield wall because you don't have the giant flails that ignore it. So I'm armor 21, so dice minus 2.
Yeah, but boosted because it's the initial
Because
charge.
boosted because of the initial charge. You got it.
That'll do it.
All right. Yep, that's 9 points of damage going through, which is 1 more than you needed.
Yeah.
Why? Why shock troopers? Come on, boys. Just need you to survive this. Then you have your second of 3 initial attacks.
Yeah. So let's see what we get here.
That'll hit.
5, that'll hit.
Yeah.
And that's the other clamp, so...
Also, they're all 14s for all three of the initials, so
Okay.
you're 19, so dice minus 2. I've got 8 damage boxes.
That'll be 4.
So he takes 4.
Yep. To hit again. That'll hit. Then minus 2 on the last initial.
6. Okay, he leaves this world screaming.
Okay, and I can live with the fact that I've not burnt all my focus.
No, and then you take a point of damage to every one of his columns.
Yep, so that was Wrecker 1?
This is Warden.
Oh, Warden.
Should be Warden 1. Yeah.
Yeah, well, neither one has touched yet, so that's Warden 1. So 1, 2, 3, 6. There we go. Accept. Okay, and then Warden 2 on the other side.
Now, he's speed, normally 5. He's up to speed 8 right now. So it means if he does nothing else than run, he can run up to 16 inches. Because it's double speed. I doubt you're going to run him 16 inches straight ahead, but just to give you an idea how far you can put him.
Actually, I'm going to be sneaky.
Oh, okay. I like sneaky.
Okay, so he is going to run.
Okay.
And he's going to run and place himself right up behind those barrels.
Sure, yeah. You coming all the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to accept the free strike.
Oh, I like this. So,
But it means that you're locked in combat with me, and you can't get into my heavy hitter.
now,
Right.
now
He's got a little more armor.
before you do that,
Yeah.
that you put you outside the control range for following turns, but it's fine because you're taking 3 focus with you.
Yeah.
So this is one thing Cephalix can do. Normally you can't allocate focus to someone out of your control range, but this guy, well, he's got to spend 1 to run.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to allocate him on your following turn, but he's already got 2 on him, so it's kind of a risky maneuver.
That'll be okay.
You good? All right, well, I'm going to take the free strike with my my destroyer then.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm basically wanting to just lock you down.
So that will hit, and I have some bad news.
Yeah, because it's a crit.
That's a crit.
Yeah.
So basically, once I do my damage, you fill in all the... Like, you're going to take the damage, and then all the remaining boxes on the column, you fill them in. But let's see how much damage I do first.
And you do have Fury up on him right now,
I
correct?
do. So I'm power plus strength 20. You are normally a 17 with the buckler, 18, and a 21 because of the feet. But the buckler, like we talked about, is only in the front, and free strikes always count as the back. So basically...
And before we do this, let's make sure that we get the damage from your feet because you did use it on him.
Well, we do that after his turn's over. So I take the free strike first.
Free strike first, and then his turn ends. Got
So
it.
pretty easy.
Yeah.
You're a 20. I'm a 20.
Yeah.
So straight dice.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
11 to the 3.
Yikes. So on the 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you just filled 2 columns.
Okay. So...
Okay, then the amputation doesn't do anything else.
Yep.
Nice. So go ahead and hit accept on that.
Except, sweet.
And then bring him back up for the end of his turn.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take 1 to every single
Oh, wrong one.
column he has.
That's Warden 2. Okay, so 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here.
Then the 3 and the 4 overflow to...
There?
No, they're both to the same one.
Ah,
There you go.
so there?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
And there's his damage. What systems does he have out?
None. Still fully functional.
Oh, Cephalix. Why did we make you so good? Okay, I think the last thing you have to activate is this agitator back here, who his positioning for the following turn might be very relevant.
Yeah, he's going to go for a little run here.
Yeah, I bet he is.
So from where he is, 12 inches, we'll bring him right about to here. I think he's just about enough out of the way there. Maybe just around a little bit, because I think, am I in 5 there?
You must be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, and even then, when you actually agitate on the following turn, you still get to move your 6 and then agitate. So you're in a good spot.
Cool.
All right, so my turn starts. So I'm going to power up, and then I'm going to definitely upkeep Fury, which is actually up on the destroyer here.
Okay.
So, and then, let's see. I think I can finish this guy out with just 3 swings from the destroyer. I'm going to need the Juggernaut to have maximum Fury.
Focus?
Focus. Well, I'm thinking of casting Fury on him.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But
All right,
yeah,
so you're gonna
So it's going to be maximum Fury when it's cast.
it's going to be maximum Fury when it's cast, but maximum Focus to make maximum swings. So that means I need to leave 2 on Kozlov. So, let's see. We got a little pair action going. So, okay. Control phase is done. Let's start with the easy things. First off, this Man of War Covenant's just going to advance to here.
Yeah, he's not really done much.
He's mainly being support for right now. I like him as a second wave. Maybe get some good slams in. We'll see if he gets stuck in later.
Okay.
He's going to desperate pace this shock trooper up here.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do the destroyer. We knew he's in melee, but he's got to turn to face here, so he's just going to back up a little bit.
Yeah.
And we're going to start swinging at this wrecker across the obstruction. So,
Right. So Matt, if you want to bring it up, I'll let you control the war room, just because trying to edit and control war room at the same time, a little bit difficult.
yeah, no problem.
And is that record 1 or record 2?
That
That's
will be
the-
record 2.
No, it's Warden.
Oh, Warden.
Warden
Yeah, it's the one that
yeah.
took the nice big free strike
Oh, yeah.
earlier.
Straight down the middle.
Yeah. So you're across the barricade. That means you're def 12. I'm mat 7. I'm gonna need 5s to hit. So let's go with the first swing.
Got it.
Looks like it's a good hit. Let's see. I have power plus strength 20 with fury. You are a 21 because feet's up.
Yep.
So it's gonna be dice off 1. Let's do 5 to the 1.
5
Okay.
to the 1.
Then let's go ahead and buy ourselves an attack.
Mm-hmm.
That'll hit.
Land, yeah.
Dice off 1. Let's do 7 to the 1.
7 to the 1. All right, so his movement and his left are both out.
Movement out is very
Easier
important to
to
me.
hit now.
Yeah. Buy an attack. Come on, crit.
Yeah.
Crit. All right. That should be very useful.
So
Nice.
critical amputation.
If
swing it in.
yeah, dice -1, and if I go into another column, we fill that column in. So looking at the damage left on him, all right, dice off 1. Let's get it done. So he'll take 5 to the 1, which fills in the remaining of the 5, and then the crit amputation fills in the rest of the boxes.
So you would have had 3 boxes left, but the critical amputation comes in and just cleaves straight through you.
So got a little lucky there, but
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of expecting him to be a sacrificial piece, just running him up like that. I didn't want you getting into my wrecker. So if I can sacrifice a warden for a wrecker, I think I can live with that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fair trade, yeah.
Yeah.
let's go and do Kozlov next. And the main thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feat. So make sure everyone is in control range. Looks like I do have that mana war from moving up, so everyone's in feet. So they all get +2 speed and unyielding. Let me make sure that is actually currently. So friendly actually currently is control range, so it goes off, they get the benefit, and then they can leave his control range and still have it.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Fury, hot swapping it off the Destroyer onto the Juggernaut, because he's got some work to do this turn.
Yeah.
And then this feels like suicide in this little package over here, so I'm going to just back up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not a ton.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go in with Kozlov later if I need to, but I got to make sure the Juggernaut actually gets some work done. Speaking of which, let's go to the mechanics next. He is engaged by that wrecker, so the mechanics are going to activate. This one's going to walk to here. Yeah. This one's going to make sure he does not leave the melee range of the wrecker, because a free strike is not what I need in my life right now.
Right.
This one is nice, free, and clear. Their speed's 7 because of the feet.
Yeah, you can get right the way around.
Yeah, let's go right over here. And then this one is also got plenty of movement to go there. So they're all going to repair.
Okay.
So they repair D3 damage points each. There's 4 of them, so 4 D3 damage.
Eat.
Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 points of damage.
Oh.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Doing just a quick bodge job on that thing to get it back into the fight.
See, this is the nice thing. Now that they can just do that auto repair, you know, they're a professional mechanic. They know how a jack works.
Yeah, it's not like Mark II where they had to make the skill check to see if they could even pull it off. Now they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Fortune
let's see. We're going to do the Juggernaut next. Which record do I want to take out? You know, I'm worried about the Perseverance spell you have upkept on that one, plus the feet.
Yeah.
So I'd rather kill one. So he speeds 6 because of feet. I'm going to go through this little spot right here.
Yeah, you got just enough to go.
And I'm going to stand in between both of them. And I think I'm going to try and make sure I take out one, and maybe I get lucky, take out one, and get another good swing on the other one.
Yeah.
And these two I know are in control area. Is this one in the control area? All right, he's out. So if I get lucky, I could freeze him, make him stationary, and then you wouldn't be able to shake off the stationary during your control phase. So, but let's keep our eye on the prize and kill one first. So we'll do the Ice Axe into this fella.
And that's Wrecker 2?
Wrecker 2.
All right.
So we hit. This is power plus strength 22, dice plus 2, because he's armor 20 under feet right now.
Yeah.
It's good for 8 to the 2.
8 to the 2.
Ouch.
Juggernauts with Fury hit really, really hard.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and punch him with the fist. Hits.
That's going to be 2 off the roll?
That should be 2 off the roll, yep.
All right.
7 to the 6.
Bad.
Yeah, Juggernaut. Show him how it's done.
Well, you're dipping down into his systems, but nothing's out yet.
Because monstrosities have all the boxes.
Yeah.
I'll buy an axe swing on him.
Yeah.
I hit because I'm Mat 7 and you're Def 10. Oh, don't.
Now, hang on, you've just had a really crappy roll, so you might have a really amazing roll.
I might. Every time they hit on a 3, though, like I just see the 1, it just.
Yeah.
Stop doing that to me. Dice plus 2. Oop, out of the box. So what do we get? 10?
10
Yeah.
To the 5?
to the 5.
I mean, I can't complain.
I can. No,
yeah.
Nobody might listen.
I'll buy another axe.
All right. So everything but his brain is out.
We'll hit.
Okay.
Dice plus 2. He's only got 4 boxes left, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, how about we boxcars him? just do 14 to him.
Good
So,
grace.
all right.
Yeah.
Record down, and I
Bites the
have
dust.
1 focus left to buy an attack. So I'm going to buy an attack on the record with perseverance on.
Okay.
If I hit, it'll be straight dice damage because he's 22 with feet in that spell. What I'm really hoping for is a crit.
Yeah.
So if I can crit, I can freeze him, and then I'm in such a better place. Oh,
No
hit.
crit, though.
You hit.
Straight dice damage.
Yeah.
The thing is, I am giving him a focus by doing this, because whatever the damage, so even though you can't allocate to him, he does have a focus.
Yep.
Come on. How about 10 to the 6?
10 to the 6 doesn't seem terrible.
Woo, Juggernaut. You got some work done that game.
Systems are still up and running, yeah?
So you've striped outside his damage grid right now.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with it. I've only got left the single shock trooper up here. Let's see if I can get lucky. So I'm desperate paced.
Yeah.
I'm feated. That's 8 inches of movement. I'm going to make sure I stay clear of the 1-inch melee range of the wrecker here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tilt over this way.
Ah.
There we go.
Yeah, I see what you're doing.
Get in the stall with you. I'm Mat 7. You're Def 14. So let's see if I can roll a 7 and maybe take one of these agitators out.
Maybe.
Oh, nope. Gonna miss today. That's everybody. So the key thing for your turn is all my models have unyielding. While they're in melee, they've got +2 armor.
Yeah.
So
those guys that died dropped their focus.
Yeah, they're gone. Yep. Their focus descends into oblivion.
Yeah.
But you still have 1 focus on each, and you can allocate to this guy.
Yeah. So I'll get my 6, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the one that's allowing me to charge over the rough terrain.
Yeah.
Because I don't need it. And that's 6 now. So I'll pop 2 out onto the warden.
Yep. And spending 1 to upkeep the perseverance on the wrecker up there. Yep.
Now,
cool.
even though he's out of the control range, can I do that?
Absolutely.
That's fine.
Yep. You just can't allocate to him. But I was kind enough to give you a focus for punching you.
Yeah, but you did enough damage to make it worthwhile giving me that?
It was, yeah.
Okay, so you're under feet now, yeah?
Yep. And you got the agitate is cleared for right now, but obviously it'll be back up here in a second.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to start with is this agitator here.
Yeah.
You're just going to bumble across here and put up agitate.
Sounds good.
But there. Going to have this guy just turn in an attack, just to see if he does anything to the big angry red Khadoran who's standing in front of us.
Sure. You need a 4 to hit me.
Well,
Okay.
even if you can't spike your damage high, remember you're still going to get through to him.
Yeah.
Your prosthetic blades have anatomical precision.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see what we get.
Crit.
Not that it does anything, but
Crit, nothing. Crit awesome.
Crit awesome.
Crit
There you
awesome.
go.
So you're power strength 11. I'm a 19 under feet right now, so it's dice off 8. No, but anatomical says I still take a point of damage.
Yeah, I'll take that on the chin.
Yep.
What offensive spells does my caster have?
You have Gallows, which costs 3. It's range 10. It's PAL 13. And if it hits a model, it drags them D6 inches straight forward.
I'm not going to drag that man of war closer to me.
You sure? Well, he would also, if he hit terrain, he would stop.
Okay.
Yeah, he can go through like rough terrain and forest, but if terrain that would like stops you like an obstacle, you would hit and stop.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do next then is I'm going to have my caster move up just to make sure everybody's in control range. We are out of the 14, unfortunately. Yeah. So he'll just move up to 6, isn't it?
Yep. And then 5. He's 5.
5?
Yeah. And you haven't had to use it yet, but one of the things the Cephalix Warcasters can do is they can spend a focus to heal damage points because there's no repair in the Cephalix subfaction.
Right.
So you can spend a focus to heal damage boxes off your monstrosities to fix up those lost systems. But you're fully functional right now.
Yeah, but if I can drag it back that little bit more.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
record number 1 is sitting at 20 boxes. Record number 2, the warden, pardon me, still has 28.
The wrecker, I'll pull 2 back off him, 1 from each of those 2 columns.
All right, sounds good.
So out of the left and out of the right.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay.
All right, then I'm going to have the warden go.
Okay. I'll just fix that real fast.
And right, quick question: am I outside of 3 here for a charge?
Well, the thing is, you could, even if you're outside of a direct charge, charges don't have to go directly towards, they have to go in a straight line. So if you wanted to charge, you could actually charge, say, like this way,
Yeah.
and get the 3 inches you need. But you spend a focus to charge, and then if you hit, you get boosted damage rolls. So you only, but if you just walk up, roll to hit, and then spend a focus to boost damage, it's the same result. So
Yeah.
if you don't need the extra movement and you wanted to boost damage, it's actually better to walk up, roll to hit, and then spend the focus to boost damage. It's the same result, but it's a little bit more focus efficient, because if you miss that charge attack, you spend a focus for, well, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, fair point. So what he'll do is, he'll just amble up
Yep.
and start swinging with his initials.
Sounds good.
So what do I need to hit here?
You need anything but snake eyes, because you're a 5 plus 2 for the agitator, so you're 7. I'm a 9 with fury, so yeah, anything with snakes,
Okay.
because snake eyes always miss. Got him.
Critical?
No crits.
Damn.
Crit awesome. So
awesome.
you are a 14 up to a 16 because of the agitator. I'm a 22 because of feet, so it's dice minus 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna boost that.
All right. So boosting,
Yeah.
dice off 6. How we doing?
That'll be 2.
2 to the
Oh, I have to roll for
system.
the 3.
2 to the 3.
2 to the 3.
All right.
Got it. So that was the head. So left clamp
Yep.
hits.
Yep. Boosting again just because of that minus 6.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nada.
Nothing.
Good sig.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hits.
Crit awesome again.
You crit awesome again, and I assume you're boosting damage one last time.
Of course.
Yeah. Off 6.
1
1 to the 1. Okay,
Oh.
so I guess I'm not the only one who has crazy dice sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think these dice may not like me.
Oh, man.
Although you still have that record.
I do with the 1 focus on him. So he'll take his initial.
Okay.
See what we get.
First initial.
Yep.
Yeah, first initial. Crit again.
Yeah, crit awesome every single time.
Yep.
Again, he's needing the same thing. Anything but snakes to hit. You are a 17 up to a 19 because agitate. I'm a 22 because of feet, so dice off 3. You've got 1 focus on you.
Yeah, I'm not going to boost that.
Yeah, it'd be probably better to just buy an additional attack when it's all said and done.
Yeah, well, it's that balance of output versus, the next roll.
Yeah.
So off
2
3
to the 2.
2 to the 2.
Got it?
Second initial.
Yeah.
That'll land.
Yeah.
And then off 3.
A little
Oh,
better.
Nice. 8 to the 1.
8 to the 1. How's that Juggernaut looking?
Well, he was pretty fresh, but because I healed a bunch off of him, but his left arm, the fist, just went out. And then gonna buy an attack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hits, and then off 3. Nice. 5 to the 1.
I'll do. A little better. So, any systems out? Just left arm?
Movement and left arm now.
Oh, I wish I had 1 more focus.
It was just the bad rolls on the warden's part, right? If you had just rolled average, you probably have the cortex out, and that would have done a lot more. So, I guess that's everybody, yeah.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Both my jacks power up. I'll spend 1 to upkeep Fury.
Yeah,
I'll give 2 to the Juggernaut,
because why not?
and I'll give 1 to the Destroyer. I'll sit on 2. So, all right, my turn's going to start here, and the first thing that's going to happen, I really want that fist working, so brave mechanics, go in there and get your job done. They're speed 5. I'm not going to be able to get all of them in, for sure, so we'll get...
But you should get enough to actually repair the arm.
Because all I got to do is heal 1 box, and they heal D3 each, so I'm only going to get 2 in. These 2 are actually going to supervise
Okay.
from behind the bench. They're just going to look over and be like, there, you got it.
Yeah, no, we call that a DOE job here at the Roadworks.
Yeah.
You always have, you have 1 man digging a hole and 5 men watching them.
Okay. So these 2 heal 2d3. Get 5 damage back.
Not bad.
So that's going to heal my movement, my left arm, and we'll actually heal all the boxes of the left arm there.
Yeah.
All right. He's done. Let's go ahead and let's go with the Juggernaut.
Yeah, this is going to suck.
It is not going to be pleasant, sir. So we'll start with the Juggernaut. He's going to swing the axe into the... I got to take that wrecker out. Yeah. Let's swing the axe into the wrecker first.
Yep.
Hits.
Now, you've still got the armor bonus.
Yeah, so he is a 19. I am a 22 with Fury up. So dice plus 3.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and do 8 to the 2.
Oof.
Man.
I'm feeling it.
But I think this game would be very different if that Juggernaut had just gone down. Because I'd have probably had to like send Kozlov in to maybe get some damage and hope the Destroyer finished him. So
yeah, but no, you've got the tools.
I've got the tools, so let's
putting the risk in.
Let's go ahead and put the punch in on the record.
Yeah.
Hits. This is an 18, so dice off 1. That's 5 to the 1.
Still bad enough. My movement's gone.
Yeah, movement and left are both out.
Let's buy an Ice Axe.
Yeah.
We can do this. Hits. 22 to 19, dice plus 3. Take 7.
To the 4?
To the 4.
Yeah.
We'll buy another Ice Axe.
You have 2 boxes left. 1 brain, 1 right.
All right. We hit. And dice plus 3 with only 2 boxes left. He's done.
All right.
So 1 more monstrosity out.
Ooh.
One thing we weren't tracking that we could have then, which if I had failed to kill him, is you were getting a focus every time I hit him.
Yeah, that's easy enough to retrack after you're done.
Yeah. With 1 attack left, I'm going to buy an Ice Axe on the Warden and see what we can get done there. So, hits. Pal 22, armor 18. This is dice plus 4. Ooh. 13 to the 1. It's not the worst thing in the world. Kozlov is going to activate. He's going to cast Fury on the Destroyer. And
I feel like I'm getting, sort of tag team wrestling vibes here. It's about to come in off the turnbuckle.
Just tag one out, and yes, he is literally going to come off the turnbuckle here in a second. Kozlov, where do you really want to go stand, my friend?
Just to watch the mayhem.
I'm going to. I feel pretty safe where I'm at right now, but just in case, I'm gonna move up here so I have a little bit more open space, and I'm not too worried about anybody getting through the Juggernaut, the Destroyer wall I'm about to create. So feel fine there. I'm going to advance 4, so pretty much right here at the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got 1 inch reach, so let's swing the axe.
Yeah, go for it.
Hits.
Yep.
This is going to be a 20, so dice plus 1. That's 9 to the 2.
What's he got left?
He has 6 boxes left.
We're going to buy an attack on him. We're going to hit. And that'll finish him.
Yep.
All right, so now hand you back that Warden. So the battle group is down. Now it's going to be down to the 2 support fellows and Cognifex to finish the job. So he's done. Let's go with our next 2 models. This Man of War here is going to swing at that Agitator. Match 7, Def 14. I need a 7. All right. Last time, I don't know what you were doing. Did you get distracted? But I need you to just poke a hole through this little guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll hit.
Got it.
Pal 14, armor 13, dice plus 1.
Yep.
All right, so that guy's dead.
So.
And I think it's time the Covenant decides to actually participate in our battle. So he's going to just simply run. And on to you, sir.
With 1 solo and a Warcaster left, I'm going to call game.
Gonna call game? Hey, man.
I think that's fair enough to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Seeing those jacks just stand there was really done. The mechanics saved your bacon.
Yeah, the mechanics, and I think like this was a learning game. When we go to the higher levels, when you add more to this army, if you have any solos or units that can take out mechanics, they're a key piece you have to drop because all the damage you're doing to my jacks and building up over time.
Yeah, that never happened.
Yeah, if I can get all of them in base contact, it's just 43 damage off every single time.
Yeah.
And you saw how much of the Juggernaut got healed. Yeah. So,
but even in being able to get systems activated again just automatically, very useful.
And your caster can do the same for all your monstrosities, but it's by spending a focus during his activation.
Yeah.
So
that's that resource out, resource in. But with them gaining focus all the time from taking damage, I can see just how they're more efficient that can allow them to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So I look forward to, we're going to do a 50-point learning game here
we'll
in a
get
bit.
a 50-point game in with me. You've got a 25 to play with John, and then myself and John are going to have at each other with these lists as well.
I can't wait for it.
Yeah, so guys, drop your comments in below. Did you notice any mistakes that we made? Anything I could maybe have done better? Aside from rolling better, I know that's key to wargaming. You roll better to win games.
Yes.
Get your comments in, we'll move on. We will see you in the next one.
We hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe, and remember, to ding or dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.